Testing. Testing. It's testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. All right. So, welcome, guys, to this webinar on how to make money effortlessly. I gave this live stream a couple of minutes ago, like 45 minutes on Facebook, but somehow there was a problem with the microphone and it's wasted. So I guess, I didn't get upset because I'm the kind of person who believes that, everything that happens is serving me in some way. And so what I learned is that instead of doing it in Facebook, I should do it on YouTube so that this webinar is going to be available to people outside of the Facebook group. So that's the thing I learned. And so I'm going to redo it. Um, and and that's because I believe that this is extremely important. This webinar is extremely important. And so I want you to benefit from it. And so I'm going to do it again. Um, what we're going to learn today is how to make money effortlessly, because this Facebook group is called How to Make Money with AI, right? And so let's start by talking about a fundamental law of the universe. And this law is way beyond AI, it's beyond any technology that you find out there. Let me just record on my smartphone just in case. I'm a little bit paranoid. So this webinar is probably the most important, or at least the most fundamental webinar in this group, because we're going to go beyond AI. We're going to talk about the universe, how the law of attraction works. So I want to start at the beginning. I don't want to assume that you know what I'm talking about. So the law of attraction is one of the fundamental laws of the universe, and it was first introduced to the general public, I think in 2008 or something, by Rhonda Byrne, and she's the producer of the DVD The Secret. So in The Secret, the DVD, she invited teachers of the law of attraction to teach whatever it is that they know. And basically, they were teaching that your mind is so powerful that you can attract to you whatever it is that you want. So, in a nutshell, like her law of attraction DVD, The Secret, basically was saying that you are here, and based on what you're thinking, you're going to attract whatever it is that you want, whether it's money, whether it's lovers. Well, lover, not lovers, because usually you need one lover at a time. Two lovers, well, that not going to talk about that. This is a family group. So love, money, spirituality, personal development. You want a car? Do you want a house? Do you want to travel? Whatever it is that you want, you just have to think it, and you're going to get it. Well, that's the kindergarten version. That's a little bit like the Santa Claus version where, if you're a good boy, if you're a good girl, you're going to get good gifts. Santa is going to bring you, but that's a little bit like a childhood story. But it's still true. It's true that whatever you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. But there are obstacles. But before we talk about the obstacles, you have to know exactly what you want. Like, what kind of lover do you want? You know, if you want a man, like, does he have to be 6 feet? If you want a woman, does she have to be like less than 120 pounds? Which, by the way, is a little bit it's a little bit unfair because a man is born with a certain height. There's nothing he can do about it. But a woman, she can control her weight. But let's not get into that. So, what kind of lover do you want? What do you need from a lover? How much money do you want? Like, I want $1 billion by the end of 2026. I may be crazy, but that's what I want. What kind of spirituality? What kind of car? What kind of house? What kind of travel do you want to have? What kind of traveling? Which country? Don't go to Iran. Don't go to Venezuela. But, what other countries you want to visit? So you have to know exactly your desire, what it is that you want. But what the law of attraction, the secret, doesn't teach is the other thing, which is your belief, right? Because you can have desire, but if you have beliefs that are blocking your desire, then it's not going to work. So all the things that we're talking about here, that's your desire. And in this live stream, we're going to talk mostly about your belief and the common beliefs that are stopping people. So we're going to talk about these blocks. And so if you were if you got to a level in your development and you've done the inner work and you don't have a lot of negative beliefs, then the money, the lover, everything you want will come to you. But unfortunately, people have these beliefs in their heads, and I'm going to represent these negative beliefs with a red block. And sometimes I'm going to call them money blocks, because in this group we talk mostly about how to make money. But it can be a block to love. It can be a block to spirituality, to health, to the car, to the house, whatever it is that you want in this incarnate experience. So these are the blocks that we have to remove. And one clever sentence that I actually coined that sentence. You're going to love it. The sentence is that, let me just write it down. This is so important. The sentence is that the thing to do is to undo. Wait, what is that? The thing to do is to undo. So it's not really a matter of doing anything, although you have to do a little bit, right? You can't just sit at home and, like be in a Buddhist position and expect the universe to serve you. You have to do certain things, but they're going to be inspired actions that you take from a place of inspiration. You don't have to do a lot, okay? But that's not the most significant challenge that you're going to face. It's not about doing things. It's not about doing more. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but AI is doing a lot of stuff. I think the doing is going to be outsourced to AI and AI agents. We don't have to focus too much on the doing. What we do have to focus on is the undoing. Okay, so it's not about doing. It's not about adding more tasks to your list, which is already full, I'm sure. It's about subtracting. It's about undoing something. So. And I'm talking, of course, about undoing the negative blocks that you have in your mind. So this diagram is very visual, but it's not actually accurate, because these blocks don't appear outside of you. If these negative blocks in red, if they appeared around you, you could see them, right? And you can just remove them in the same way that, you don't like a piece of furniture at home, you're just going to remove it. Unfortunately, these red blocks, which are blocking love, blocking money, blocking health, whatever it is that you want in life, these blocks are living inside of your head and they're invisible. And that's why it's so hard to identify them. So let me just draw them here. Yeah, hold on. These blocks are inside of you, and that's why they're so difficult to remove, because you don't even know that they are there, right? So, and yet they are the biggest challenge to your making money. Whether you want to become a millionaire or a billionaire, or whether you want to make $200,000 a year, these are the blocks that are stopping you. So this is your head, and this is your body. Okay, and inside of your head, you have all of these blocks, these self-limiting beliefs, and later on we're going to discuss them in greater detail. They live inside of your head and they prevent you from making money. So the money, everything that you want, is flowing to you all the time. It's flowing to you all the time. Okay? But because you have these negative beliefs, you are repelling these things, these blessings, these opportunities that come to you all the time. So it's very important to understand that. Negative beliefs, you are repelling. So the trick is to really undo those beliefs. So the way that reality unfolds, and here, just gonna, the way that reality unfolds, the way that the universe works, is that whatever it is that is inside of your head is going to materialize in your life. So let me just draw a picture for you so it's very, very clear and there's no misunderstanding. So imagine that this is your head, right? Your mind, rather. And this is your life. So if inside of your mind you have, let's say, a negative belief, we're going to represent it with a triangle and also a rectangle and a square, then whatever it is that's in your mind, you will see the same blockages in real life. Okay, it's the same, it's a reflection. So that when the money is sent to you, right, the money is heading to you here, it's heading to you, but it encounters these negative beliefs and it bounces away. So this is money. Same thing here. It could be a lover who's interested in you, but you feel that you're unworthy, so you're sending the lover away. Here it could be a car. Somebody wants to give you a car, but no, I don't need a car. So you have all those negative beliefs about cars, houses, whatever, and you say no. And when you say no, the universe has to obey you. And so it's very important to understand that whatever it is that is coming to you and that you deserve and that you've been asking about, it is coming to you. But because you have these invisible negative beliefs, you are pushing away all of that. So the law of attraction works. All of these things that you want, all of these people that you want, they are coming to you. But you have negative beliefs. So these are the desires and these are the beliefs, the negative beliefs that repel, all the good things that are coming to you. So that's why I said that, the key to making money effortlessly means that you just have to remove or undo these negative beliefs. So for example, if I was to undo this triangle inside of my head, which represents a negative belief about money, then suddenly this triangle doesn't exist anymore, and therefore the money has to come to me. You see how it works? So it's not so much a matter of you going out there and try to grab that money, sell, and be aggressive and be annoying people. It's not about being that aggressive. It's about just let the money flow into your life. Let the money flow into your life effortlessly. And that's what's happening to me, by the way. The money is flowing into my life. I don't even have to think about it. So let the money flow into your life. Let the lovers, well, maybe not lovers plural, that's a ménage à trois, but let the lover, let the friends flow to you. Let the car, let the opportunities, let the ideas, the resources, let them flow to you. Don't have any resistance. Eliminate all the resistance in your head. That's why I said at the beginning that the thing to do is to undo. Undo your beliefs, undo your definitions. Like some people would have the definition about money or work. They say, oh, I have to show up at the office. I have to show up at the office. I cannot work from home. And so when they have that belief, that definition, that work has to be done outside of the house, well, they might come across opportunities to work from home, but they say, no, 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 work at the office. I do not work from home. I know it's a little bit facetious, but guess what? During the COVID pandemic, millions of people discovered Zoom. And through Zoom, you can actually work from home. And so hopefully it has changed the belief of millions of people so that now they believe that they can actually work from home. They don't have to, wake up in the morning and take a shower, hopefully take a shower, get dressed and drive to work. They can actually work from home. So that's one belief that if you change that belief, you can actually work from home in the same way that right now I'm teaching from home. Like it's so cold outside in the middle of winter, Montreal, Canada. It's around minus 12 now. Another belief that stops the flow of money to come to people, another belief could be, oh, you know what, Peter, I don't have a lot of skills, man. I don't know how to do stuff. Well, you can learn, right? So if you believe that you don't have a lot of skills, well, change that belief. You can learn new skills. Or you can say, well, Peter, I have skills, but I have office skills, but they're not really valuable. Well, change that. How can you make them more valuable? Or in the area of love, a lot of single people today, you might think, oh, you know what, Peter, I'm happy being single. I don't need a woman, man. I'm fine at home with my video game and my VR headset. Well, it's because you don't think you're worth it. If you don't value yourself, how can women value you? And it's the same way with women. If you're a woman, but you think you're too fat, you're too thin, you're poor, you're sick, you're not interesting, you're not pretty, you're not cute. Well, if you don't appreciate yourself, how can a man appreciate you, right? So we have all these negative beliefs about ourselves. We feel unworthy, and therefore we're stopping everything that we're asking for. And that's why the law of attraction doesn't work 100%. It works, but something else is needed. You need to have the desire. So these are desires, right? But you also have to remove those obstacles, which I call negative beliefs. So you need both desire and belief. You have to undo the beliefs or the block that is stopping your desire to flow into your life. So again, this workshop is not about doing more. I'm not going to teach you, how to create an AI agent or how to learn this or how to learn that or how to sell, how to do marketing. I can teach that, later on. But the fundamental obstacle to everything that you want in life, not just money, is that people do too much and they don't undo what's in their head. Once you undo the negative beliefs, the negative self-definition in your head, then you're going to be able to create wealth. You create wealth effortlessly. Because you can create wealth, by hustling, right? Hustle, hustle, hustle. Sell, sell, sell. You knock on every door. You're becoming very extroverted, very aggressive, very annoying. There are so many entrepreneurs who go out there and they're always in your face, like they always want to pitch you something. Dude, relax. Don't try to go out there and grab the money. The money is going to flow to you, but you got to relax. You got to look at within yourself. What are the beliefs and the definitions that are blocking the money from flowing to you? In other words, the thing to do is to undo. Put in a different way, it's not really about adding more stuff. I call it the law of subtraction. You have to subtract, you have to remove all the obstacles that prevent you from receiving whatever it is that you want. So let's take a funny scenario. Let's say you're at home, right? You're watching Netflix, whatever, and this is your house and this is the door. And there's a guy who rings the doorbell and he has a package for you, okay? Okay, so this is me, Peter. And he rings the doorbell and I answer the door. Hi, can I help you? And the guy goes, well, I have a package for Peter the billionaire. And I go, Peter the billionaire? I'm not a billionaire. I'm a teacher. I'm a digital marketer. I'm doing a live stream here. You're interrupting me. So I'm a digital marketing teacher. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm tons of stuff, but I'm not a billionaire. And so this guy go, you're not Peter the billionaire? I said, no. And so he walks away with my $1 billion. I just lost $1 billion. Okay, I'm just kidding. But I think you get the point. Identity is destiny. If you believe you're a millionaire, you will attract millionaire opportunities. If you believe you're a billionaire, you will attract billionaire opportunities. It's really that simple. So you have to be careful when you answer the door. In other words, when opportunity comes your way, don't say no. You know, I could have said, Peter the billionaire, are you sure? And the guy would say, yeah, it's for Peter the billionaire. And then I would say, okay, then from now on, I'm going to be called Peter the billionaire. Give me the package. Right? You can change your identity in a second, right? There's no harm. Okay. Here's another scenario. A lot of times, and of course, this door, it's not really the door to your house. It's more like an entry into your life. So oftentimes, people might have so many blocks that block them from answering the door or from receiving what it is that life is offering them. So again, we have this delivery person. He rings the doorbell and you hear the doorbell, but you have all these blocks that are blocking you and you can't get to the door in time, right? It takes you too long because you have all these darn blocks, right? You can't answer the door. So the guy is going to ring the doorbell like twice, 3 times. Nobody's home. He walks away. So by the time you get to the door, there's nobody. And you just lost an opportunity. You're too slow. You have to answer the call quickly. If I say jump, you got to jump. If I say, hey, join my team, I'm going to show you how to make money with affiliate marketing. I've made a lot of money with affiliate marketing. You got to jump. You got to answer the call. Don't say, oh, Peter, you know what? Let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife. Let me talk to my kids, my husband. Let me talk to my dog. I'll get back to you in 2 weeks. No, you got to answer quickly. You got to be fast because the opportunity is not going to stay there for long. So it's about speed too, right? There's a movie you really need to watch. I watched it twice. I think I'm going to watch it again. It's called Yes Man, and it's with the famous comedian. What's his name? Not Drew Carey. Jeez, what's his name? Carey something. A funny comedian from Canada. Anyways, in that movie, you know, he's like very isolated. Like he goes to work and he goes home and he watches movies and then he doesn't have a social life. And one day his best friend Bradley Cooper invites him to go to a kind of cult. And he goes to this cult and the speaker is encouraging people to say yes to life. So as a contract, a covenant that he strikes with the speaker, he agrees to say yes from now on. Anything that happens to him, whatever people are asking, he says yes. You know, somebody's asking for money, he says yes. Somebody proposes to teach him Korean, he says yes. How to play the guitar, yes. And in the end, you know, he meets the love of his life and he's making money and he's quite happy. So it's all about saying yes. But the movie is all about, you know, removing all the internal obstacles that you have in your head. Just say yes to life. What have you got to lose? Just say yes and you know, have a taste, have a bite, and if you don't like it, you know, you can just walk away. Don't reflexively say no. I learned to say yes, tell you the truth, probably around the year 2008. I was seeing this beautiful Filipina girl, Regina. I'm gonna show you a picture of her later on. Very beautiful girl. Um, and in 2008, she said, "Hey Peter, I have 2 tickets to the conference by Robert Riopel, the lead trainer of Harv Eker. Harv Eker is the only author that I know of on planet Earth who is combining spirituality and wealth. So you really have to read his book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. You can watch his videos on YouTube for free, but you really have to get the book. It's really amazing. It's easily one of the top 10 business books that I've ever read. So in any case, 2008, I went to that conference. Regina had midterms and she couldn't come. But I was sitting in front and there was around 2,000 people. So it was a large audience. And everything that Robert was talking about, like, it was completely new to me. Completely new. Even though I have a business degree from McGill University, I graduated from McGill in 1999. And so 2008, that's like 9 years later, I began to learn what business is really about. What business is really about. So let me just summarize for you, for those who were not able to attend that conference. And hopefully, I'm going to summarize it for you so that you can read the book. So in a nutshell, Harv Eker is saying, and this is very powerful stuff, he's saying that there's a part of you that is invisible, right? And this is the invisible part, it's the ground. And there's a part of you that is visible. And this is exactly the drawing that Robert was making on stage. So this is a tree, right? It's visible, but underneath the tree you have those roots, right? And so this is not visible, this is visible. So Robert was saying that whatever is inside of you, it's going to eventually show up in the world, but you don't see what's inside of you. And yet you have to strive to see what is inside of you so that you can remove all these red blocks that are inside of you, right? They're really inside of you. You have to remove them. So it's invisible. Sometimes people call it the inner game, but it's invisible, and that's why it's so hard, to go in there into the ground and fix whatever is inside of you. And that's why we have, thanks to Sigmund Freud and all the psychotherapists in Europe, they develop what is called talking therapy. When you talk to psychiatrists, you're making audible everything that's going on inside of you, including your dreams. Sigmund Freud was famous for, analyzing dreams. And so when you talk to a psychotherapist and he's going to ask you all the right questions, you're making audible what's inside of you. Because without a psychotherapist, it's very hard. I mean, most people cannot really do what I do, like write on a piece of paper and figure out what's going on inside of them. Most people would rather talk to someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, or ideally psychiatrist or psychologist. So you have to talk it out. That's why they call it talking therapy. Speaking of which, I have a joke I just have to tell you. So there's this guy who goes to see a psychiatrist, and he said, "Doctor, like, you gotta help me. I have a brother, like he's wacko, like he has delusions, And psychiatrist says, "What do you mean?" "Well, my brother, he thinks like he's a chicken." And the doctor goes, "Really? How long has this been going on?" And the guy says, "Well, it's been going on for 2 years." And the doctor is really shocked. 2 years? It's been going on for 2 years? Your brother thinks that he's a chicken? How come you didn't come to see me earlier? And the guy goes, "Because I needed the eggs." So the guy's crazy too. That's why. So the joke is that we all have delusions. The brother thinks that he's a chicken, and his brother doesn't think that he's a chicken, but he thinks he needs the eggs from the chicken. we're all crazy. We all need psychotherapy. And that's because we're opaque to ourselves. Opaque means the opposite of transparent. We don't see what's going on inside. And once you see what's going on inside of you, then you can undo. And that's why I said at the beginning, the thing to do is to undo. You can undo these negative beliefs inside of you. You can undo them. And as you undo these negative beliefs, right, you undo them. So basically, you're just erasing all the red blocks, the money blocks, the love blocks. When you undo these blocks, well, of course, the love is going to flow to you. The money is going to flow to you. The personal development, the faith in God, the car, the house, the travel, the cocaine. No, sorry, no cocaine. Everything that you want, whatever it is that you want in this short life, I'm sure you want a lot of things. I want a lot of things. I want everything. I'm like Tony Montana. He's in the car and he talks to his friend Manolo. He says, "Me, I want what's coming to me," and his buddy says, "Well, Tony, what's coming to you? The world, Chico, and everything in it. The world, everything that you want, like." We live in a simulation. Everything that you want is going to come to you. Your job, your mission impossible, and sometimes it feels impossible. Your mission impossible, should you choose to accept it, is to remove all these red blocks that are blocking the way. So you cannot blame God. You cannot blame your parents. You cannot blame your lover. You cannot blame your children. The only person, I wouldn't say to blame, the only person who has power is you. You have the power to receive everything that you want. And speaking of power, this is something I just thought about. Because you know what? Like when I do spontaneous live streams like this, I don't have many blockages. I don't have much inhibition. Look at the word power. Most people don't have power. You want to know why? It's because they think that they owe the world something. Oh, Peter, you don't understand, man. Like I gotta keep my job. I owe it to my wife. I owe it to my kids. I gotta keep working. I hate my job. I gotta keep working. Why? Because I owe it to my kids. I owe it to my wife. She's gonna divorce me if I don't keep my daytime job and refill those credit cards. I'm just kidding. But people go through life because they feel they owe it to somebody else. Dude, let me put it very simply. The only person you're owing anything to is yourself. I think it was Rocky Balboa who said, what is it he says? Oh yeah, he said, nobody owes nobody nothing. You owe yourself. Okay, I cannot fake Sylvester Stallone, but he said, what is it? Nobody owes nobody nothing. You owe yourself. Okay? So you owe yourself. You owe it to yourself to have the best life possible. But to have the best life possible, the best car, the best house, the best of everything, you've got to go beyond owing other people. You've got to develop your power. Now, I have no idea what the P and the R stands for, but let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Okay? But you got to add the P and you got to add the R so that you're not in debt anymore, but you have the power. Okay? So now that you have the power, I'm reminded of the song, I got the power. Okay, now that you have the power, you can just take inspired action and progressively move towards your goal. Now, when I show you this diagram, after you remove the red blocks, it's not that the lover, the money is going to come to you, like this. No, you got to work for it, right? So let's say the money. I give you money opportunities in this group. I'm not going to make a deposit to your bank account. Are you kidding? So what I'm going to do is give you the opportunity to work towards making the money. But the work that you're going to do, you're going to feel good doing it. So it's going to feel like, you go up a stairway. I'm going to show you a stairway and you go up and then you go up and you go up and finally you make the money. So this is just a a metaphor. You know, when you see these arrows, it's not quite as simple, but it is joyful. You know, you have the opportunity to make money, and you just do one thing after another. You do the steps. You have the opportunity to meet your lover while you have to date her. Um, you know, the woman that you date on the first date, she's not gonna go home with you on the first date. Although it happened to me once. Unfortunately, it happened to me just once. You know, I was at a wedding, but anyways, this is a family blog, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But you know, you got to do the work. Whether it's getting a girlfriend, a wife, whether it's making money, whether it's getting a car, a house, you know, it's a step-by-step thing. But every step that you're gonna make to get the things and the people that you want, every step is gonna feel light. It's gonna feel joyful, because there's no resistance inside of you. There's no resistance inside of you. You feel like doing it, you just do it. Like in my case, for example, you probably noticed that I've been live streaming and I just teach. I don't have any notes. I'm just sharing what I know. I'm just trying to help people here. I don't have much resistance when I'm teaching and live streaming like this. And it feels really like a game. It feels like a lot of fun. Okay. So this is inside of you. So let me share with you something else that Harv Eker and his book that he taught me, and it's something that I quickly wrote down right away because I recognize the awesome wisdom of what he was sharing. And once you see this diagram or this acronym, you're not going to forget it. And in fact, you know, I recommend that you write it down somewhere and you put it on the fridge, you put it on your desk, you put it on your forehead, you put it on your underwear. But it's something that you that you have to remind yourself. And this is so powerful. You're going to see. So he talked about this framework. And he separated the two sides. So the T stands for thoughts. So you have certain thoughts, and they lead you to have certain emotions. And the emotions are the drivers of actions. So you have certain emotions, usually positive, and they lead you to take certain actions. And from the actions, you get results. And that includes money. So this is the inside. So this is inside of you, your thoughts and your emotions. You know, I've never seen an emotion out there in the world. I've never seen a thought out there. This is outside. So this is in the physical world. But most people, when they have a problem with money, they try to fix it on the outside. So I've seen people join my Facebook group, and when they join, I can actually see how many Facebook groups they are a member of. And I see people join, and they're already part of like 5,000 Facebook groups. Dude, why have you joined so many groups? There's just one group on AI that I recommend. It's Jonathan Mass group. It's called AI Prompts for Entrepreneurs. But people seek a solution outside. Oh, I want to make money from AI, so I'm gonna take like an AI course. I'm gonna go watch YouTube videos on AI. I'm gonna join this Facebook group. I'm gonna take this certification on AI. And there's one ad, I swear to you, it's so funny. There's one ad that says, get a PhD in AI. You don't need a PhD in AI to make money from AI. But anyways, people want to make money and they search for the solution outside. In other words, it's all about doing. Do more, learn more, go here, go there, do more, buy more. It's not about doing. It's about undoing. It's about undoing all the belief and the definitions you have that are blocking you. All the wrong thoughts that you have, because thoughts, they're right or they're wrong. If you have the wrong thoughts, I'm going to put them in red here. If you have the wrong thoughts here, it's going to lead to the wrong emotions, negative emotions, and you're not going to take action. Or you might take action, but it's going to be negative action. So you have to distinguish between the right thought and the wrong thought. This is the right thought and this is the wrong thought. So in every moment of the day, in every waking moment, you can choose the right thought or the wrong thought. The wrong thought is in red. It's going to lead to negative emotions. It's going to lead to a bad action, right? A bad action. And of course, it's going to lead to a bad result, Robert Riopel and Harv Eker, they don't talk about this red sequence, but I guess that's my contribution. So you always have a choice, but the choice is always inside of you. It's not the choice of, going to learn this from this AI guru or that AI guru. That's the world external. This comes naturally when this is done right. This is like the what's I call it? Yeah, this here is what's underneath the ground. So I guess it's more like that, right? So the roots underneath the ground, that's this part here, and the tree here, the fruits, that's the visible part here. So everything comes from the inside, your thoughts, your emotions, and then they are expressed, manifested as actions and results. So if you're in this group right now, or in any Facebook group that focuses on how to make money with AI, but you find that you're not taking action, you're taking zero action every day, you're not doing anything, it's simply because you don't have the right emotions. You might even have like a negative emotions. You might think that, oh, AI is consuming drinkable water. AI is stealing electricity. It's making electricity more expensive because of the data centers. AI is forcing kids to commit suicide. You have all the negative emotions because you have the wrong thoughts about AI, and you have the wrong thoughts because it comes from the news media, and the news is always tends to be negative. CNN, the news, always negative. So when you watch negative news, you have negative thoughts leading to negative emotions, and therefore you're not taking any action. Zero action. So you have to choose new thoughts that lead to positive, energizing emotions, and then you're going to take action. So if you're not taking action right now to learn AI or create, AI products and services, it's simply because you have the wrong emotions and you have the wrong thoughts. So you have to go back to the source. You have to really undo what is going on in your mind. You have to undo this part so that it leads naturally to this part. I hope it makes sense. So in a nutshell, that's what you got to do. Or like I said, the thing to do is to undo. So you don't have to do much. If you feel like, to succeed and to make money, you have to do a lot. Like you have to write a business plan, you have to recruit a team, you have to find an office, you have to learn prompt engineering. It's gonna take you like 6 months. You have to get this certificate, that certificate. You're never gonna do anything. But that's not the easy way. That's not the effortless way, the joyful way to make money, because you're doing too much. You got to relax, and you have to undo what's inside of you, undo all the negative thoughts, negative emotions, and the money and the opportunities and the lovers and the cars, they will come to you. But, like I said, when they come to you, it's not going to be like a done deal. You still have to go through this stairway. You still have to go through a process so that you can make money. So you still have to do something. You still have to take action, but it's going to feel like inspired actions. You're not going to resist anymore. It's going to be something you feel like doing. Oh my God, it's so joyful. I'm having such a good time, And therefore, you can have, once you remove, let's say, the blocks here, like this person has a block, and that's why the money is bouncing off. Like he doesn't see the money because he has negative beliefs. But this person, you see, like the block used to be there, but now it disappeared, and therefore the money can come to him, the opportunities. And so he can create a service, he can start teaching, he can start creating, he can start a consulting agency, he can sell. He has so many ways to make money because there's no inner resistance anymore. There's no mental blocks like this person. And this person, you notice that he's bigger than this person. He's bigger because he has grown as a person. He doesn't have these self-limiting beliefs anymore. He's free. He's accepting money from all over the place. It can be a comment by a teenager. It can be a stupid statement by a reporter from CNBC. Like he's just taking in everything, and he's getting the ideas from all over the place. Because the universe is speaking to you all the time. The universe is speaking to you through your wife, your kids, through a stranger, through somebody you meet at the grocery store. So you have to pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Because one thing that we know with the human brain is that you're not actually seeing things the way that they are right now. Your brain is reconstructing your perception based on your past. And this is very deep, so it's also very powerful. So let me take a few minutes to unpack this idea so that you can see very clearly what's in front of you. This is very important. Most people do not really see what's in front of them. So let me ask you, when I show you this dry erase marker, you know what it is. But how do you know what it is? You know what it is, and you know what it does because you've used this marker before. Right? So when you look at this, you're not seeing this marker. You're not really seeing it. You're seeing a memory of it. You're looking at the past. You're not looking at the present. Okay? So it's the same thing with everything. Look more carefully. What is it that is right in front of you? And then you will see that there are so many ways to use what is in front of you, but don't define what's in front of you based on the past, because the past is gone. Like the past is gone. You have to look at things the way that they are right now. So this person doesn't have inner resistance, and money opportunities will flow to him endlessly. There's no limit to how much money he can make, because that's the job of the universe. So that's what effortless wealth is all about. So let me give you another example scenario. Let's say we have a guy whose name is Jonathan. He's over here, and he used to be a project manager, PM. And so he made money as a project manager, right? And this is me. I was a project coordinator before, so I made money also from project management and coordination. But if Jonathan has an opportunity to teach project management, right, and make extra money, he has this mental block. And so the money comes, but the money is bouncing away. The money is bouncing away. But in my case, when the opportunity came to develop the project management course for Taft College, I took the opportunity because I don't have the negative belief here. I don't have the negative block here. And so I took the opportunity to develop a project management course, and I began teaching at Taft College, and I was making $80 an hour. And also, this is good, but also I developed my own intellectual property, meaning that the course material belongs to me. I can sell it to anyone. And so I generated or created this second source of income, teaching, because I didn't have the negative belief of Jonathan. Now, Jonathan, he might have many negative beliefs. He might believe, for example, oh, I'm not good at public speaking, or, my voice is not good, or, I don't like teaching, which is an excuse. Of course you like teaching. What you don't like is public speaking. So people come up with excuses like that, or as a project manager, I make enough money. Thank you very much. I don't need extra money. That's a lie. So people tell themselves all kinds of justification, but really there's a mental block, right? There's a mental block, and you have to seriously look at those mental blocks, because Jonathan is leaving a lot of money on the table. So you have to be aware, and this is a part where it's a little bit tricky, people eventually learn, whether it's making money or whether it's finding a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is that you want to do in life, eventually everybody learns. But the question is, are you going to learn the easy way or the hard way? And if you want to learn the easy way, then just begin to examine your negative beliefs and remove them, undo those beliefs, and life will flow so many opportunities, so much money at you, that at some point your biggest problem is going to be, how am I going to spend all this money? So that's a problem that we all would love to have, right? And so I hope that in this live stream, I've begun to teach you a new way to look at making money. the ease and grace way. Ease and grace. Make it easy for you to make money and create value. Make it graceful. Don't work so hard. Don't stress yourself. Especially women, like if you stress yourself, you're going to age faster, right? You don't want to stress yourself. And the way to make money with ease and grace is simply to undo whatever is going on in your mind, especially your subconscious. Undo all the self limiting beliefs that you have. And it's quite normal that people have those self limiting beliefs because that's how culture has been designed. So let me show you a diagram. It's a little bit shocking, but I think you'll understand why people have negative beliefs and what you can do about it. Um, so like in a circus, the way that they control elephants is so the circus has a big tent, right? And there's a pole. And when the elephant is small, they attach the elephant to a pole. And so the elephant cannot go anywhere. But when the elephant becomes bigger, let's say a big elephant here, when the elephant becomes bigger, it can easily pull on the chain and the entire tent would go down. But you know why the elephant doesn't do that? Because the elephant has been trained ever since it was a kid. It's been trained to feel the chain, to feel that it's not able to pull this pole. And so it's the same thing with us humans. When we're kids, we've been indoctrinated through the school system to become normal, to obey, to conform, just do like other people, man. Like you don't want to stick out. We've been trained to be so docile and so obedient. And when we grow up, we have the same mentality. We're not tigers. We're not predators. We're like sheep. We're like lemmings. We don't have much willpower. And so we just do what everyone is doing. Like everyone is, going to work, the office 9 to 5. And so you got to do what everyone is doing. Come on, get with the program. But I'm here to tell you that you have the power to decide in every moment. And with every decision, you're going to gain more power. You're going to gain more power. It's a little bit like a spiral. Every time you make a decision, you gain more power. And at some point, you're so powerful that you don't care whatever other people do. You have a keen sense. You have a keen sense of your power. And this is what I had like 25 years ago in June 2000. I had the best job ever, the best boss, the best coworkers. I even dated the cute sales rep from corporate sales. And yeah, 25 years ago, I was so confident. You know what? I don't need corporations anymore. I'm just going to go out on my own. I felt very confident. Of course, it was not always easy. But you got to respect yourself because life is very short. And usually people die much sooner. I know it's a morbid thought, but people die much sooner than they think. I might die like in the next 5 years. I don't know. That's why I live every day like as if it was the last day. It's a little bit extreme, but it works. And so I guess the main message, and this is just the beginning of a workshop series. I've been talking for 50 minutes? 55 minutes. This is just the beginning of a workshop series because I just want to introduce you to the idea that you have the power. You don't owe anybody anything, maybe except your parents, but you can have your dream life this year in 2026. You don't have to wait. Whatever happens with AI, you can decide, okay, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and just identify the beliefs that you have that keep you from receiving whatever it is that you want. And so maybe in the next live stream, I'm going to actually identify all the negative beliefs that people typically have, all the negative beliefs here, the red blocks that people have. And once you remove those self-limiting beliefs, the money is not going to bounce off. You're just going to receive the money. You receive everything that life has to offer through the people that new people that you're meeting, through online resources. It's gonna flow quite naturally. That's what I wish for you. That's what I wish for myself, how to create wealth in a way that is effortless, in a way that doesn't feel like hard work. I think people today, they just work too hard. This is a line I came up with a couple of years ago. I say that work is for horses. Work is not for human beings. Now, of course, human beings who show up at the office, they don't work like horses, but mentally, intellectually, they're working like horses. They're working so hard. I used to work so hard. But this year, I created a portal. It's called Lazier and Richer. I think that's what everybody wants secretly. They might not admit it, but everyone wants to be lazier and richer. We want to make more money, but we don't want to work harder. And it is possible. That paradox is possible thanks to artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence cannot really change your belief system. You have to change yourself. There's a story of Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. Jim Rohn is the mentor of Tony Robbins. One of his mentees came to him and said, Jim, this job, that's all they pay. And then Jim said, no, that's all they pay you. That's all they pay you. Because if your skill is very low, so you're the kind of person who, let's say over here, that's your stature, well, you're going to be paid this amount of money. I don't know. So it could be 50K. But as you grow as a person, intellectually and also emotionally and psychologically, you grow, then you're going to be making more money. And as you grow, because you're not a tree, you can always grow more. Then, you're going to make 100,000 or even more. So the money that you're making is correlated to your growth. The more you grow, the more you learn, the more books you read, the more money you're going to make. And that's why I like the word income. I like the etymology of the word income. Your income depends on the outcome that you can produce for the client or for the employer. So income depends on outcome or results. If you create more outcomes for your clients, for your employers, you will naturally receive more income. So it's just that poor people or people who are struggling financially, they don't know how to create more income. But I'm more than happy to teach them how to create more income. It's not that hard. It's a live stream I'm going to give in the future. It's called the Money Making Workshop. It's not hard to create more outcomes so that you can make more income. Okay, so let me see what else I can share with you. But I think basically that's it. Basically it's just a matter of going within. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy because it's like as if you have to perform surgery on yourself. Like even the best surgeon in the world would have difficulty performing surgery on himself. But there is a trick for that. And this trick comes from none other than Albert Einstein. So I'm going to share with you what he said, which is going to be more useful to you than E is equal to mc squared. Because, okay, I get it, E is equal to mc squared. There's an equivalence between mass and energy. Okay, I get it intellectually. But what am I going to do with this formula? It's the most famous physics formula in the world, but it's perfectly useless to me. But what Albert Einstein said that I found truly powerful, and it's useful for everyone. And in fact, this live stream is an example. This live stream with this dry erase worker, it's an example of what he said that impacted me. Actually, he said two things. The first thing he said is, I need to put it down so that you can really think about it. My pencil and I are more clever than I. What does he mean by that? My pencil and I are more clever than I. So what Professor Einstein meant is that if he was to just sit at home and he's just thinking, he might be very clever. In fact, he's probably more clever than all of us together. But he's not going to be as clever as when he sits down in front of a desk and he uses a pencil to write down what he's thinking. whether it's a mathematical formula, whether it's a diagram, whether it's a physics formula, equation, whatever. If he has a pencil, then combining his brain with the pencil, he's going to be more clever than if he was working by himself. You see how powerful that is? But how many people in the world actually know this statement that Einstein wrote down? My pencil and I are more clever than I. This is incredibly useful. It means that whatever goal you have, whatever plans you have, whatever it is that you want in life, the perfect lover, the perfect car, the perfect house, the perfect bank account, whatever it is, you have to write it down. Like what I'm doing right now. If I was just to teach you and I'm just talking, I'm going to have much less of an impact on you and on myself. But when I use these aluminum sheets and I use a dry erase marker, I'm much more effective as a teacher. And after this live stream is over, I actually have things to look at, right? These aluminum sheets, and these aluminum sheets will form the basis for my next live stream, which will build on these artifacts, right? So I'm building assets. So I don't care if how many people are watching this live stream. I don't care. I'm doing it for myself so that I can climb on my own shoulders. You see how powerful Albert Einstein's statement is? My pencil and I. So in my case, it would be my marker and I are more effective than I alone. Another thing that Einstein said, and I always share it with my digital marketing students, he said that the most incomprehensible thing in the world to him is that the world is comprehensible. So let's unpack that a little bit. He said the most incomprehensible thing, the thing that he doesn't understand, is that the world, the cosmos, the universe is comprehensible. So he doesn't understand why we can understand the universe. Because there's no reason why we should understand the universe. I mean, we could have been born with the brain of dogs. I mean, I love dogs. I love cats, right? But dogs and cats cannot understand the universe. But how come we have the kind of brain that can actually understand the universe? Of course, what we understand in terms of physics and the theory of everything is very small, but we have the capacity to learn. And so if you apply that to the world of making money, you can always study, you can always learn from books from other people, and therefore you're going to be able to grow as a person, from a little person to a bigger person. You can always grow, to become a bigger person. And as you grow and you become a bigger person with more knowledge, you will make more money. That's guaranteed, right? So everything can be learned, whether it's AI, whether it's gradient descent, whether it's programming, whether it's marketing, sales, everything can be learned. You just have to decide, I'm going to learn it, darn it. I'm going to learn it, I'm going to master it, and I'm going to succeed. So if you're not making money, or if you're struggling to find money, it's because you're not growing as a person. Maybe you're a small person here. Or maybe you're okay, you're making $80,000 a year, which is okay, but you want to make more. You want to become a millionaire, you have to think and you have to know what millionaires know. You want to become a billionaire, same thing. So, guys, it's been really a pleasure and an honor to share this with you. It's now available on YouTube, so I invite you to share this video with your friends and your family so that you can discuss the ideas. But, I definitely will do more live streams like this, because this is something that I find really exciting. I mean, it's really exciting because this insight tells us, the insight that you have to work on your self-limiting beliefs. This insight tells us that you don't have to do much. You just have to undo what's in your mind that is blocking you, and as you undo all the negative thoughts and definitions that you have, all the negative emotions, you will be able to do more. As you become more of a peaceful person, you will be able to clarify your vision. And by the way, this is absolutely, I need to share with you because it's so relevant, and I learned it from the founder of Mind Valley, which is I think the largest self-transformation company in the world. Vishal, the founder, he gave this diagram in the keynote. I just have to share it with you because it's so relevant. He said that on the y-axis you have vision, and on the x-axis you have, let's say, peace. So he divided into a 2 by 2. He says that if you don't have peace here, it's not good, right? So you want to get to a point where you have peace. You're not even happy, you just have peace. You accept that everything in your life has been created by you. Everything in your life has been created by you, in the same way that every piece of furniture that you see in your home has been bought by you. You know, there's no object in your house that is not there because somebody put it there. You know, you put everything in your house, right? So in the same way, everything in your life right now was created by you. So once you realize that, then you have peace. And once you have peace, right, you go here, once you have peace, then you can develop your vision, because here you have no vision and here you have a vision. So this is the place where you want to be. You have money and you have love, but you have to find peace first, peace over here, and then you can strive to have the vision and the money. A lot of people, they're really at a place where they're unhappy. They're blaming other people. They feel negative because of what's going on in Iran and Venezuela, in the world. They keep themselves in a place where they don't have peace of mind, and therefore, you know, they try to develop a vision, but it doesn't work. If you're here and you're not stable, you're not peaceful, and you try to develop your vision, it's not going to work. And if it ever works, it's going to be so stressful. You might make money here, right? Because you have a vision of how to make money. You might make money, but it's going to be so stressful. You're going to be confused. One day you're going to create this AI product. The next day you're going to create another AI product. You don't have any stability because you don't have peace inside of you. You don't have a strong foundation. So that's why I wanted to share with you from the founder of Mind Valley. All right, guys, it's been so much fun. Thank you for being there. And definitely, I promise you, I will continue with the next workshop to explore in greater detail this idea that the thing to do is to undo. So when you focus on yourself, on the inner game, and you manage your beliefs and your definitions, you know, you're going to be able to make money quite effortlessly. So that's where it starts. It starts from the inside, and there are techniques and tools that will help you, that I'm going to share with you, that will help you to identify what's inside of your subconscious, what is blocking you, why you're engaging in certain behaviors that are not really helping you. So like Einstein said, everything can be understood, and as much as possible, I want to share with you everything that I've learned in my life. And so this is not theory. These are things I actually practice in my own life, you know, and I'm going to share everything with you, and hopefully you can share with your friends and family. All right, guys, that's the workshop for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for being there, and I'll see you